The serenity of Pahalgam, a jewel of Kashmir, was shattered on April 22, 2025. A devastating terror attack ripped through the valley, leaving 26 innocent civilians dead. The attack, the deadliest in recent years, ignited a firestorm of outrage and grief across India. Fingers were immediately pointed towards Pakistan, a familiar narrative in the long and turbulent history of the two nations. The attack served as a grim reminder of the volatile security situation in the region, a tinderbox that even the smallest spark can ignite. India responded with a swiftness and severity that underscored the gravity of the situation. The Indus Waters Treaty, a landmark agreement regulating water sharing, was suspended. The bustling Atari border, a symbol of shared heritage and strained peace, was closed. Visas for Pakistani nationals were revoked, and diplomatic staff in both countries were reduced. These measures, a clear signal of India's fury, were met with retaliatory actions from Pakistan. Pakistan, denying any involvement in the attack, called India's response knee-jerk and provocative. They responded by freezing the Simla Agreement, a bilateral accord signed in 1972. Adding fuel to the fire, Pakistan conducted a series of missile tests, showcasing its military might. Trade relations, already at a nadir, were severed completely, and visa services for Indian citizens were halted. The situation escalated rapidly, with both nuclear-armed nations locked in a dangerous standoff. The specter of 1999, when a similar escalation led to the Kargil conflict, loomed large. The international community watched with bated breath, urging restraint and dialogue. The attack in Pahalgam had opened a Pandora's box, and the world held its breath, hoping sanity would prevail. The 2025 Pahalgam attack brought into sharp focus the military might of both India and Pakistan. India, the world's largest democracy, boasts the fourth most powerful military globally, according to the Global Firepower Index. Ranked as a Tier 2 military power, India's armed forces are a formidable force equipped with advanced weaponry and a robust manpower pool. Pakistan, on the other hand, occupies the 12th position on the index, categorized as a Tier 3 military power. Despite the disparity in rankings, Pakistan's military is not to be underestimated. It is a battle-hardened force with a history of conflict and a fierce determination. However, in terms of sheer size and resources, India holds a clear advantage. This difference in military strength is a key factor shaping the dynamics of the current crisis. The disparity in military spending further underlines the imbalance between the two nations. India allocated a staggering $79 billion for its military in the fiscal year 2026, a testament to its commitment to modernizing its armed forces. This figure represents 1.9% of India's GDP and a significant 13.45% of its union budget. In contrast, Pakistan's military expenditure for the same period stands at $7.6 billion, highlighting the economic constraints it faces. Despite a smaller budget, Pakistan has made strategic investments in its military, particularly in its nuclear arsenal and missile technology. This focus on asymmetric warfare capabilities is Pakistan's way of leveling the playing field against India's larger conventional forces. The current standoff, therefore, is not just a clash of armies but also a reflection of contrasting military doctrines and strategic priorities. On the ground, India commands a significant advantage, with a massive standing army of 1.46 million active personnel, bolstered by a reserve force of 1.15 million. Pakistan, in comparison, has an active military strength of 654,000, supplemented by 500,000 paramilitary personnel. This disparity in manpower is a crucial factor in any potential conflict, giving India a significant edge in a prolonged engagement. This numerical superiority is mirrored in the armored divisions of both armies. India fields a formidable force of 4,200 tanks, including the indigenously developed Arjun variants and the Russian-made T-90 Bhishma. Pakistan's tank force, while smaller at 2,627 tanks, boasts modern battle tanks like the Al-Khalid and the Chinese-origin VT-4. However, India's edge in armored vehicles, crucial for both offensive and defensive operations, further solidifies its dominance in land-based warfare. In the skies, India again holds a quantitative and qualitative edge. The Indian Air Force boasts a fleet of 2,229 aircraft, with 1,672 considered battle-ready. This includes a potent mix of 513 fighter jets, including the French-made Rafales, the Russian Sukhoi Su-30 MKIs, and the indigenously developed Tejas light combat aircraft. Pakistan's air power, while numerically inferior with 1,399 aircraft, relies heavily on the JF-17 Thunder, a multi-role combat aircraft jointly developed with China, and a dwindling fleet of aging F-16s. The maritime domain presents a similar picture. India's Navy, the fifth largest globally, operates 293 vessels, including 2 aircraft carriers, INS Vikramaditya and INS Vikrant. These carriers significantly enhance India's power projection capabilities in the Indian Ocean region. Pakistan's Navy, with 121 vessels, lacks the punch of its Indian counterpart, particularly in terms of blue water capabilities. India's edge in submarines with 18 compared to Pakistan's 8 further solidifies its dominance at sea. The specter of nuclear war hangs heavy over the current standoff. India, a declared nuclear power since 1998, possesses an estimated 150 to 160 nuclear warheads. It has developed a nuclear triad, capable of delivering nuclear strikes from land, air and sea. Pakistan, which declared its nuclear capabilities shortly after India, is believed to have a stockpile of 160 to 165 warheads. Both nations have invested heavily in their nuclear arsenals, viewing them as the ultimate deterrent. India's development of the Agni-V intercontinental ballistic missile, with a range exceeding 5,200 kilometers, and the ongoing work on the even more potent Agni-6 highlight its nuclear ambitions. Pakistan, in response, has developed the Shaheen-3 missile, with a range of 2,750 kilometers, and is actively working on extending its reach beyond 3,000 kilometers. The current crisis has brought about a flurry of diplomatic activity, with world leaders and international organizations urging both India and Pakistan to exercise restraint. The United States, which enjoys a complex relationship with both countries, has called for de-escalation and a return to dialogue. China, Pakistan's all-weather ally, has urged both sides to resolve their differences peacefully. The international community's concerns are well-founded. A full-blown military conflict between India and Pakistan, particularly one escalating to the nuclear level, would have catastrophic consequences, not just for the two nations, but for the entire world. The economic, humanitarian, and environmental ramifications of such a conflict are too dire to contemplate. As tensions remain high, the world watches and prays, hoping that cooler heads will prevail and a peaceful resolution can be found.